I want every one of you to remember these three words. Nigerians, we are no more. Southeasterners and Southerners, we cannot become. And Biafrans, we must be.
A servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We are live and we are direct this very morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. And we start this very day by making it abundantly clear that the greatest enemy of a black man is the way that we reason. If not that the way we reason is very, very abhorrent, there is no need or reason why we should be suffering and complaining every blessed day without the courage to do something about it.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this amazing program. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you are joining from. Please like and share this program to all platforms. Share to family and friends. Share to those who care. This platform is a platform that is under the United States of Biafra. The United States of Biafra under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, today under the leadership of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Remember, today is another day where our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to stand in for Biafra, standing in the court of the zoo on behalf of Biafra. And today they have proceeded on the case. In this very video, I am going to show you what transpired, and I'm going to show you the updates so that you can know what to expect tomorrow. The case has been adjourned to tomorrow, and from tomorrow, it will continue. Remember, they promised that by tomorrow the case will be rounded up, but we are not sure if the case is going to end tomorrow or not. But I want you to pay attention to this very video for you to get the update of what transpired and also hear from the lawyers what they had to say and what to expect tomorrow. Let us watch from the beginning to the end. Do not skip anything in this video. I bet you'll be glad you did. Thank you so much for joining. Let's watch.
This report.
The family of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has condemned what they described as shameful and deliberate misrepresentation of the court proceedings in the ongoing trial of Kanu, as reported by some media outlets. A statement made available to journalists by the family through Prince Emmanuel Kanu noted that the article titled Nnamdi Kanu admitted inciting public to attack police, witness tells court, is a blatant distortion of the truth designed to mislead the public and tarnish the global reputation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said this disgraceful journalism reflects a disturbing trend of anti-Biafra and Igbo-hating sentiment that prioritize sensationalism over factual reporting. Prince Kanu disclosed that what transpired in court on May 6, 2025, when the hearing resumed at the Federal High Court in Abuja before Justice James Omotosho, exposed the prosecution's weak and embarrassing case. The family noted that the cross-examination of the prosecution's witness, PWAAA, from the Department of State Services, DSS, revealed a shocking lack of awareness regarding the charges against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The statement further emphasized that the family will not stand idly by while Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's reputation is unjustly maligned, demanding that media outlets retract their false reports and focus on the substance of the case. Basun Okafor, Silverbird Television, Abuja.
Trial of Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria, in Abuja, marks a very sad moment that this trial is a politically charged theater of absurd. The government of Nigeria, the Supreme Court of Nigeria, found it not worth to listen to this type of accusations that were labeled against Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. It told Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, we don't have anything to hold you on. The politics of the day of Buhari, as you know, Buhari never liked anybody from Southeast in a state of Biafra, or in Biafra as it is, or the Southeast areas of Biafra, and all those states to speak. Decided no, he cannot release Nnamdi Kanu. The court released him. The intelligence intercepted him, took him back to jail. The trial has taken long. It continues to drag on. What amazed me today and yesterday when I watched, and the other day watched these trial proceedings, I found one interesting thing. Witnesses never identified themselves. Even coded names were not given to these witnesses. Who are these witnesses that don't identify themselves? That's point number one. Point number two, I would like to bring to the notice of Nigerians across wherever you are in the diaspora and whatever you are. If you call yourself, you have that Nigerian passport. Your country in 2014 ratified a treaty of the African Court of Human Rights and the People's Rights to accept it, to have jurisdiction over their matters in case there was anybody offended. They did sign it properly, ratify it properly. But Nigeria fraudulently withdrew the documents of declaration, what we call the instruments of declaration. Nigeria, a country of 250 million people, has not placed their declaration to this African Court of Human Rights and the People's and the Human Rights and People's and the Human Rights in Arusha. Sometime in 2023, on 30th of August, I filed an application in the court as a professional organization that has been doing quite a lot of work for Africa and across the continent of Africa and the globe. I wanted the court, I want to ask Nigeria to come to this court in Arusha. I was surprised to find the documents for the registrar of the court telling me the judges like the documents, like to understand, they read the documents. But David, Nigeria has not placed declarations, instruments of declaration in this court. Therefore, the court turned out and said they don't have jurisdiction to run that case of Nnamdi Kanu being brought to Arusha. I'm therefore asking anybody in Biafra, anybody in Nigeria who is listening to me, if Nigeria is really a member of the ECOWAS and African Union, why has it refused to sign? Has it refused to place declarations, instruments to the court so that the court can do judicial jurisdiction, have the jurisdiction over the matters of Nigeria? Why? Why? It is because the answers are many, but I believe one answer is Nigeria does not want to be accountable, does not want scrutiny because of its human rights records, abuse of human rights in Southeast, abduction, killings, rape, the army turning on civilians, beating, killing them. And as you can see from the clips coming from Nigeria, it is therefore our duty as Africans to spread this message. I have published the letter, the response, the official communication from the court, which was sent to me. And you can read it on my Twitter handle or my X account. You will find it there. This is this state that can call itself a leading state in Africa. The answer is no, it isn't. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Africa. That is it.
The judgment of the Court of Appeal that ordered the federal government to release the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, from detention. The Supreme Court ordered the continuation of the trial bordering on terrorism preferred against Mr. Kanu. And in a unanimous judgment prepared by Justice Garba Mohammed but read by Justice Emmanuel Agim, the 5-member panel of justices say the federal government acted, in their words, irresponsibly when it forcefully brought Kanu back to the country from Kenya against all known laws. However, the Apex Court held that it was not enough to divest the trial court of its jurisdiction to continue with the case. Let's take a listen to the counsels.
We had hoped that it would come our way, but it has gone the other way. It simply means that we have to go back to the High Court and get done with this quickly. We still have hope. We're not in despair.
By the grace of God,
yes, so
victory is assured.
Yes, we
at the
will.
end of the day.
We will lose a little time. We still have to go back. That's all it means. But I'm very consoled by what the Supreme Court said, that he ought not to have been treated the way he was treated. His bail ought not to have been revoked. His home ought to have been invaded. All that is a consolation to us. So we have hope.
This is victory to our administration of criminal justice, because it shows that once you are an accused person, once you are a defendant, no matter what excuse you want to bring to hide under the law to say that you should not be tried, the Supreme Court have expressly, unequivocally stated clearly that we don't have the legislation that will vitiate the court from trying a defendant that has committed a crime. You must be tried for every offense you have committed. You saw that the court came very heavy on the security agencies, where they have in any way, impaired on the rights, the fundamental rights of the defendant. However, our laws have made very clear provision for remedy where there's such infraction on the right of the defendant. Then you can such a defendant can go to the civil court and then seek for civil remedies for the violation of his fundamental rights. And that is why, of course, we have the fundamental rights enforcement.
Thank you for watching. Now you can see that finally they have done what they had to do, and they are still in the process. As I have always said, the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not in the hand of the court of the zoo, is not in the hand of anybody, but in the hand of the Chukwu Okike Abịama. And again, in the effort that the Biafrans are making, you have heard what transpired, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in the process. The case has been adjourned to tomorrow, and tomorrow we will come on again to give you the update, what is going to happen. Tomorrow there will be cross-examination of those witnesses, and the evidences they presented will be tested to see if it can stand in this court. But have it at the back of your mind that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case in Nigeria. In the first place, Nigerian government and their court has no jurisdiction to try the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They don't have any jurisdiction whatsoever to try the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because they can't stand on illegality and begin to talk about legality. But since they have decided to test the case, let them face the shame and disgrace before the whole world. Tomorrow, we are going to follow up and see what is going to happen. My fellow Biafrans, keep your hope high and continue to fight for Biafra. The only freedom we can give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the United States of Biafra legitimization and the delegitimization of Nigerian government. That is where we should stand. Restoration of Biafra fully on the ground and recognition pursuit, which Dr. Ngozi Oraweze is already following. Remember, 30th is a special day, the Heroes' Day. We are going to celebrate it by the special grace of God. with the presence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And on that 30th, our Washington, D.C. office will be opened. On that 30th, it is a peace summit. It is a special day that you cannot afford to miss. Thank you for watching. Stay put, and I will bring you more updates next time. Stay blessed. Bye-bye. See you on the next episode.